Hi everybody, welcome to Sawdust and Cornbread. I'm Laura Lee. If this is your first time as a guest on the channel, be sure to click the like button at the bottom of the video and subscribe to the channel. I put out new material every week. I have a few different projects I'm going to be working on today, some fun, easy, inexpensive things. And the first thing I'm going to do, I've been working on the front of the duck house here, trying to make it a little bit prettier. I got a faux lamb's ear wreath and put that up above where they can't reach. They can jump pretty high, so I have to be careful that they can't get any artificial greenery. But I decided here on the sides, rather than doing little window boxes, I was thinking about doing miniature window boxes like the ones that we have, to use these brackets that I found. They're really neat. I found them at Lowe's. They probably have them on Amazon, but they're terracotta plant holders, and they hold just about any size terracotta pot. So I got these little, I think they're 4.25 inches, so 4¼ inch pots. I think that's going to be a good size to put up there. And the way these work, you mount the pot holder, and then it fits right up on there, and see how it fits under the lip, so that'll hold that up there. Terracotta would be okay, the color, but I want to keep everything black and white, or kind of like a burnished bronze and white on the house. So I'm going to go ahead and take some acrylic paint and give this a coat of paint on the outside. I also got this beautiful tray of shade-friendly plants. It's really shady here under the duck house, which is a good thing for the ducks. They get dappled sunlight, but all of my plants are going to have to be really high shade. One thing I'm going to have to do is check and make sure all of these are duck friendly, meaning if any of them shed or fall off or break, or say the whole thing falls on the ground, it's not going to be toxic to the ducks. So I'm going to look up, usually on your plant container it has the actual species name of each one, so I'm going to look on here, see if I could find the exact plant name and look each one of those up before I plant them and make sure they're duck safe. So that's what's going to be going in the terracotta planters, and I think that will look really cute. Just an individual plant. And then all of the ones that are left over, I have a little shade garden that I'm beginning over in the corner beyond the fencing, but I can see through the fencing right by the duck pond. So I'm going to plant all of these other shade tolerant plants in that little shade garden. And one other little task I'm going to take care of today, I have buried a heavy duty, like industrial water hose from our spigot that's attached to the house, and I'm putting the ducks and ducklings up. It's all over the lawn, and I got tired of tripping on it and the ducks getting tangled up in it trying to get in their house, and it kind of spooks them when anything different is in the yard or anything has changed, so they didn't like that water hose being there. So I went ahead and dug and buried that over to where the duck watering area is, the pond and all of that. I found an inexpensive mount for the hose. It's just a metal garden hose to wrangle up what came out over there. I think I'm going to attach it to the side of their little lean-to food shelter so that the hose will be over there near the pond. So lots of fun projects today. I'm excited to see how everything turns out and to share it with you. And hopefully along the way we'll find some helpful tips together. Let's get started. I'm going to begin by painting these little terracotta pots so that those can be drying as I set up the brackets. This is just acrylic, black acrylic paint. It'd probably be best to squirt it out on a surface to begin with, but I'm going directly on the pot to save time. And also these little sponge painters, I think they work a lot better if you at least dampen them and then pull some of that moisture out, squeeze some of the moisture out to begin with. But I'm just going on straight to the paint today without any water on there. This is going to have a more rustic look. You're going to be able to see some of the streaks in it as the terracotta. It's naturally absorbent. It's going to absorb some of that paint. If I wanted more exact results without streakiness and more uniform color, I would probably prime the pot first with a primer, preferably a tinted primer, and then use a spray paint on top. But for my purposes, I don't mind a few rustic streaks. It's going to be outdoors. It's going to see some wear and tear. It does have a little drainage hole on the bottom here, so that's good. We don't want soggy feet on our plants. And again, the terracotta will still on the inside absorb some of the water. And you can see it's really soaking in that paint already. So I'm going to let this dry, do my second one, and I might do a second coat. We'll see how it looks. Don't forget to take off these little stickers. They're going to be mounted kind of high on the duck house, so you may be able to see those stickers from underneath. So I'll take those off. Put on a line of paint. There it is. I'm going to spread that out with my little foam brush and just keep working my way around. This would be a fun project to do with children or grandchildren because it's not an exact science. Of course you don't have to do black. They could do any fun colors. Think about turquoise or a bright yellow would be cute. I guess I'm pretty plain Jane, classic, stick to utilitarian colors type person. Maybe I should broaden my horizons and start thinking about those brighter colors. So yeah, pretty basic. Just get paint and cover a terracotta pot. That's it. I'll allow these to dry about 3 minutes, and I think I will put a top coat on there. One thing that would be so cute, if you haven't already seen my video on how to crackle anything and add a white chippy effect, I'll put that link up at the top here. You could go over this black with white school glue, allow that to dry until it's tacky, then apply white paint or whatever color paint you want on top. Then allow that to dry and it will do a natural shabby chic crackle effect. It's really cute, very easy, anybody can do it. As long as you have school glue and water-based paint, you can crackle anything. I think that looks great. It's going to be so cute on the little duck house, add a little bit of extra color, and I can change the flower seasonally. I'll give a few minutes for the terracotta pots to finish drying. It's not going to take long on this beautiful day. I'm going to go ahead and get these brackets mounted. These are so simple to mount. It actually only takes 2 screws to hold them on. So I went ahead and temporarily put 1 screw in and put the plant in the pot and mounted it just to kind of eyeball it to get a feel of if that's actually the spot that I wanted it. Felt like it was a little too high up and I wanted it down and inside of the post there a little bit more where a natural window box would fall if there were windows on the house. So very simply I just had to remove 1 screw and then remount it where I wanted to. I put the pot on there just to make sure, again eyeballing it from a distance, that in fact was the spot that I wanted it. And I think it looks great there. It's the perfect solution. When you use these brackets, the only tricky part, it's not really tricky at all, is to use a level. Make sure that they're good and plumb and level so that your pot will be level when you mount it on there. And again, you just screw in 2 screws. I put in 1 screw, use my level to make sure everything's good and straight, and then put in that 2nd screw, and that's it. These brackets or terracotta mounts are really easy to use, inexpensive, and I could see you using these all over the place. So highly recommend. Really neat idea. And you can see here how simple it is just to put that pot on there. The little lip fits under the bracket. And here they are all finished. I like the way it looks. I like it a lot. And I can change these seasonally. So just adds a splash of color and a little more customization. Now it's time to add some more color to this little shade garden. A little duck-friendly shade garden. They actually can't get to it through this fence unless it starts growing through. And if they get a nibble or two, it shouldn't hurt the plant or the ducks. This is my first time working with a shade garden. Everything else I have is in full sun exposure. But I like how these bright plants add a splash of color to this otherwise kind of dark and somewhat gloomy corner. It's nice to look at through the fence, and if you have chickens or ducks or rabbits or any other animal that likes to nibble on plants, I think this is a neat idea to plant some things that are still in eye shot but beyond a fencing area where they can't get to it. That way you can enjoy the color and the plumage and the foliage, but not have to worry about it getting eaten up too much. And here's everything all situated, planted, and cozy in place. I look forward to watching those spread out and fill that area with more color. Meanwhile, the ducklings are sure enjoying their new pond. One huge advantage of having plants near a pond is you can make use of that great nutritious water to both feed and water your plants. Now I just have to tackle this garden hose. The bracket is so simple to put up there. I just had to put one screw in at the top, tighten that down, and it was able to wrangle up all of that loose gardening hose. Now everything's tidy and ready. I hope you found today's episode helpful. If you did, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and share this channel with other people. I'm constantly uploading new information weekly. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you next time. God bless.